Good morning, Richard Eckley here. How are we today? Bit of a damp one here in Swansea. The old rains are coming down. We're on a Thursday, so we're on a Mindset Thursday on your 4 keys to a healthier, happier you. And the question is, are we programmed by nature or nurture? And that's quite an interesting way to think of things, how we've actually developed and where we've got our mindset from. Is it nature or nurture? Well, it's actually a combination of both. Nature, first of all, is basically it's our DNA. When mum and dad first got together, we had half our DNA from mum, half our DNA from dad, and that actually combined to make us who we are. There was also a little thing called DNA switches, which then kicked in. Otherwise, we'd be exact replicas of each other. So the DNA switches then kicked in, which made slightly different traits on each and every one of us. So some of us had blue eyes, green eyes, brown hair, black hair, tall, short, and all these little variations kicked into our development through the DNA switches. So we said we first had half our DNA from mum, half DNA from dad. Then the DNA switches kicked in, which made us a bit of variation, which made us all slightly different. But unfortunately, also what these DNA switches also do, they also mutate certain cells sometimes. So unfortunately, the genetic disorders we get can be set up from these DNA switches. So again, cancers, Alzheimer's, heart disease, these can all be caused by these DNA switches, by the programs not actually working properly and adapting as they go along. Well, fortunately, in a way, only 10% is down to genetic defects. The other 90% of, unfortunately, of these diseases is down to our lifestyle choices. But first of all, our DNA is what actually makes us, first of all. So first of all, nature is the DNA, which gives us the building blocks of our life, if you want. So that actually sets us up, first of all, to actually create who we are. Then nurture comes in when we're actually growing up. From age to about sort of 6 or 7, nurture then is the environment we grew up in. So it's depending on what sort of our parents were, who our guardian was, they actually taught us their belief system. And because we were taught their belief system at an early age, it was embedded in our subconscious mind. So we actually use their belief system as our belief system because we were told it so many times. It's the old saying, the parents say, do what I say, not what I do. But kids will always do what they do because they actually watch them, learn from them, and develop their belief system from their parents or their guardian, whoever they were brought up with. And that's how we actually develop our belief system. And it's through nurture. And they say that's the biggest control of our environment is the person of who we are. Is the nurture part is when we're growing up. Our DNA gives us the basics, if you like. So that gives us who we're going to be sort of internally and what our sort of physical body is through nature, what we can actually do, what we can develop nature-wise. But then the nurture part is actually the mindset is actually gives us our belief system, which actually controls what we're actually going to do with our life further on. So if you believe you're sort of going to be successful, you believe you're going to be healthy, you believe you're going to be good, you'll be that way. If you're brought up in a negative area with very bad role models and perhaps even abuse or slavery, there's lots of problems going on, that's your nurture, that's your belief system there. You don't believe you are capable of having anything good. You can't believe you are worthy of better because your belief system has been sort of drilled into you as you was growing up. So you haven't got that success mindset or that actual positive mindset to think, oh, I can achieve more, I can do more. Because that initial setup you had when you were sort of growing up is what's caused your belief system now. So you have to actually, if you want to change your life, you have to change your belief system. But actually, as I said before, it's putting more positive in there. We can control our own mindset. We can control our own belief system by putting more positive thoughts in our mind to getting more positive feedback from people. Because we live in a negative world. There's no getting away from it. Our news is negative. The TV is negative. Radio is negative. All the things you see is negative. But as I said, there's equally positive things happening as well, but we just don't get reported on so much. So in order to counteract all the negative we get in our mindset every day, we need to put more positive in to give us a better positive attitude. And then we'll get more success. You only get success in any area of life is through having a positive mindset. Someone with a negative mindset will never achieve anything because they'll just focus on the negative things, the things that can go wrong, the things that can go bad, so they won't try anything. So you're not going to try anything if you think that's not going to work. You're not even going to try anything. You're not even going to start it. But if you think, well, that might work, that could work, there's a possibility that could work, then you'll sort of learn, develop it, and grow, and then you'll move in the right direction. So the nature and the nurture, I said nature is the DNA, that's basically the sort of like the building blocks of who we are, which gives us our natural abilities as well. Sometimes with our parents or our grandparents. Remember, DNA goes back to all our ancestors as well, through years, millions of years through all our ancestors. All the DNA is still connected through all of us, a little bit in each one of them. Each ancestor comes up to us. So you've still got our ancestral DNA going back thousands of years. So that's inbuilt into us. So we have natural abilities which you may not know we have until we try them. And that's something, okay, you could be good at sport, or you could be good at music, or you could be academic, you could be good at maths. So it could be that's the DNA part, which is our natural ability just to do naturally through the DNA process, the the DNA switches have called those cells to generate more. So there's more blood, more oxygen going to those areas. So we're improving that way. And then the nurture part is what we've actually, our belief system is what we've been taught as we grew up. So we find what we think we can do. And that's what often controls our future life, is what our thoughts control our future life. Because if we think we can't do it, we're not going to do it. So then we can actually change our mindset. The nurture part, as I said before, it's up to sort of 6 or 7. That's when we sort of get our nurture area. All those years are combined to actually develop our brain. And what we've been taught up to then is what we sort of decide is, right, that's going to be, we don't decide it, it's just our natural ability, is we think this is what we can do, and we don't think we can change it. It's not until we sort of start to learn and develop ourselves and think, oh, hang on, through self-education, we can change our entire mindset and actually change the way we've been brought up, change our belief system into a much more positive one. But it's by self-education, by putting more positive information in there, finding something we want to do, researching it. So in this day and age, there is so much information on there with the internet, and there's all the combination of everything you've got. We live in a knowledge-based society now. It's all out there, but it's up to us to self-educate, to find something we want to do, research it, develop it, look into it, implement it into our lives, and then we can have something better in the future. But it's up to us to decide what we want to do, because so many people go through life and they just let circumstances affect them. They don't actually try to actually prevent that circumstance or change a circumstance. They just keep living it over and over again and think, well, that's just what I've got. Instead of thinking, there's a way I can actually get over this circumstance, change it, and how you react to a circumstance will develop, how you actually develop in the future will actually sort of generate the difference. That's my little thought today on this Mindset Thursday. Nature or nurture, we are a combination of both. Nature gives us our natural abilities through our DNA, and nurture is things we can control in the future if we want to change our lives through nurture, and we can actually nurture ourselves, if we like, through self-education. I feel some value from this. I hope you have a good day today. My name is Richard Eckley. All the best for now.